kind of flashback story time. All right, so I think I might need to do a little driving at the very end of the line. I'm not even getting 1,000, so nicht so gut. Hey, welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. This is Chris. All right, it is Saturday afternoon. I need to go move the cows, or at least let them into that back corner before they disown me. Also on the list for the weekend, finishing up the 2030 and seeing if we have any more issues, if it was just a sensor. And then if it doesn't rain tomorrow, which it is supposed to, then we'll get more bales, which we have probably another 8 loads of bales to get at 22 bales a crack. Let's get back there. Let's get those cows onto some fresh grass, make them happy. So the cows always will think that we're gonna let them back across the road, but once I get them coming, I don't think this is gonna be as tough as the last time. All right, it shouldn't take too long. They think they're going across the road, but they're not. We're not taking them back across the road. Corn looks good. There they are. Finally. It just took them a little bit to coax them out of that corner. Come on, girls. Boss. All right, while we're waiting for them, smash that like button. Help support the channel. And of course, if you hadn't had a chance yet, subscribe, follow along for more, and wait and see how long it takes these guys to get back to that corner. The only bad part is there isn't a whole lot of nice grass here. They got to kind of shoot through these trees a little bit and get through, and there's a little bit nicer grass back there. But this whole drain ditch is that like marsh, reed canary type grass, and then that goes all the way through there. That's the bulk of their stuff back here. Just on the other side of this brush, there's a little bit of clover starting to come in. But there should be enough grass back here for them to nibble on and find stuff to keep them busy for at least a few days. Hey, good morning. All right, much better morning than yesterday. A little bit slower start this morning. It is actually my birthday today, so a little bit slower start. Actually didn't get a video out today. I've been kind of liking the Sunday morning videos, but it just didn't work out with stuff we did yesterday and this morning. So, but on a bright note, Bethany did get me the Milwaukee blower. So this will be nice for blowing off balers and equipment and other equipment stuff. So that was cool. It was on my list. I don't typically, I'm not real good at giving out lists for birthdays or Christmas, but that's all right. We went out to dinner last night and then we'll kind of did some other things last night so that we don't have to really go and do anything tonight. We can just kind of hang out. Plus, starting tomorrow night, well, not night, but tomorrow afternoon, after work, I go from work to practice, and then I don't get done till about 5:30 or so. And then when I get home, then kind of pick up and do whatever little farm stuff. The only nice thing is, like right now, I mean, unfortunately, we don't have all of our first crop bales picked up, but hopefully we're going to work on that today. It is pretty wet out there, and unfortunately where we're going is a wet field. Oh, and the cows, they came back already. So, looks like they're coming back over today. All right, it is wet out here, but we did get all of yesterday. We got just under 2 up in here, right? Back up in here. Where we came from, it's pretty soggy. Load, and yeah, we could, and there's hardly any incline, but you can tell where the tracks are. So this is bullshit. So Dad's gonna go, he's gonna drive the rut edges down. And typically, like we kind of did a little spin out last year too, kind of the same thing in about the same area. But I'm trying to go to higher ground, but the ground down here, it doesn't really seem to matter. But because this ground is so wet, it will like naturally level itself out a little bit. They're not deep, it's just I basically stripped off the sod. That's really all I did. So Dad will go and he'll just kind of drive the ridges on the sides down. One nice thing about having those really wide front tires on the Mahindra. The bad part is I gotta try and get out of here, and it's a fairly steep out. I don't know if I have enough traction, and I can only see about 50 yards up the road. Typically Dad will go first and he'll wave me on if it's okay. So yeah, this ought to be fun. Well, bale pickup has been halted. Unless the sun stays out and the breeze picks up, we probably are not going back over there today. If we wanted, we probably could actually move the cows and go back and get oats bales, because those need to get picked up yet too. So that is an option. But for right now, Dad's gonna finish unloading that. I'm gonna run to the shop. I need a different wrench, and then we're gonna finish off the 2030. All right, we got the sensor hooked up and kind of where we want it. So fire this guy back up, and we got a little bit full, but for some reason it wasn't coming out the overflow line down the front. So we ended up blowing that out and kind of made a mess, so no biggie. We'll have to let this thing run and see what happens. So we let her sit for a little bit while we took a break. The temp gauge, one thing that is nice is that this temp gauge starts at 110, and it did go up to like 150, 160. We do have quite a bit of a mess to pick up here. I wouldn't mind firing up and spraying out some of the inside here. Our tack, though, decided to act like a frickin' helicopter. It's just... So you have no idea what RPM you're actually running at, so I don't know what we're going to do about that stupid thing. It would suck to have to replace it, because this one actually, like, the hours actually was working. Okay, status update. We didn't put anything back on. We're fairly confident that the new gauge works. We were getting some pretty good temp. We could feel that it was warm up here. So we're hoping stuff is moving at this point. But this guy was going wacko, just spinning. We took it off, and it looks like the cable is okay. Right here. So we watched that spin, I revved it up, it spun faster, so it seems like this guy is working fine. But I mean, I guess after like 60 some odd years, I guess those gauges will go bad. So we're gonna have to order a new one, and we're gonna keep that guy in hand. It stopped at 7,200 hours. I don't know how accurate that is for what the actual hours are. Then again, it probably only has about 300 hours maybe on an engine rebuild. So probably actually not a bad time to swap it out, because we could say that, you know, that's legit. Maybe put a sticker on it somewhere or paint on the inside. All right, what we're gonna do now is Dad's gonna throw on the material bucket. We want to get the cows across the road because they are ready. They were actually laying up there this morning. We're gonna throw a little bit of the road base around that metal water tank, because that's starting to get a little bit of a hole, and we don't want that to get any worse like the yellow water. So Dad goes back and forth about 3 more times because they got a deeper hole than I really thought there was. It wasn't there when I put them on that chunk. I've got some temp posts. I got a few extra corners, some of the pigtails, and I'm going to just go right over here. There's that wet hole that's always kind of been there. I'm gonna fence them out of that, at least most of it. It's not supposed to be really warm to invite them in there, and they're only gonna be in here for 2 days max. But you know the cows, if they can get there, they'll go there. All right, so we got this guy set up. I just wanted it in this area. Unfortunately, then what that means is they won't be able to get in there and eat that grass, but it's not a huge deal. I still let them have this area because they haven't totally destroyed this yet. And in the 2 days that they're going to be in here, I don't think they will, but it at least keeps them out of here. Yeah, that turned out really nice. Now granted, there's like right on this point right here where his front tires are, so that's gonna get mashed down pretty decent, and we'll need maybe another bucket to kind of fill it in, but hope it looks pretty good. So hopefully, again, like the other one, like the other water, like by next year that stuff's really nice and firm, but yet you still get that gravel to help hopefully let it settle through and let that water run away a little bit first. Great. Where did I put that? Where did you put the tester? Not overly surprising, but that went really well. As long as you got a couple of those older ones that know what the Helsinki they're doing, that crossing the lane is not a big deal at all. When I was little, what we actually would do, kind of flashback story time, what we would do is we would actually bring all the cows in here. And every time I look in this yard, it's like, man, we got a lot of cleanup work to do before we bring calves in. But we bring all the calves in here, and then my dad, my uncle, and my grandpa would help a little bit, but they would catch them. They'd bring them in here, and we had a trailer. It was an old gray wooden sided trailer. It was our old dump trailer before Dad made the green one. It had it was hydraulic, but it had like cables on it and stuff. It was old. It was very old. But what we would do is we'd catch all the calves, and they would be maybe a month old or so. And then we'd bring them out. We actually used to do the rail grow ear. I'm trying to think back, because this is like single digits times. But I know we used to do the rail grow. So we would put that implant in. And then, I think we castrated. We banded at that time. Because I think we tagged everything at birth. And then we would band them, and then they'd get the implant. But then, and I think it was only steers that got implants. What we would do is put all the calves in that trailer, and then straight out from that red gate, there was a barbed wire 4 or 5 line barbed wire fence up along the lane, and we'd run string all the way down past by the shop where we would park the roller and the picker, use the calves in the trailer as the lead, as the lure, and we would drive down the lane, and then we would let the cows out and we'd walk them down, and then they would spend the summer behind mom and dad's house. And it wouldn't be the whole summer, they'd spend like half the summer. All right, so I think I might need to do a little driving. At the very end of the line, I'm not even getting 1,000, so nicht so gut. But I want to at least maybe go down to their main crossing and see if I can see what kind of reading I get down there. Okay, so we're to the culvert. Now it kind of to be expected because by the blue water there's a straight line right to this point. So this is where I checked. This tester 99.9% of the time flashes orange. It was white. So there's probably like 11,000 volts right here. Definitely good shockability. But if I just come right across the way here, it's under 1,000. So what's all entailed in getting over here? We've got 4 line all the way down, and then 4 line. Actually, yeah, that's probably where I should check next, because I know I got the gate open there, so it's literally going all the way down there. Yep. Okay, let's go check by the yellow water. All right, I think I actually found my problem, and I'm surprised I haven't found it sooner, because this 4 line, so it's 4 line electric, the bottom one is dead, supposedly. So I never really worry about trimming grass around it, because it takes, what is that? It's like almost 18 inches to get to the second line. So never usually a huge deal. But I'm going around here and there is amazing juice, like all throughout the 4 line. Then I get to this 2 line where I start my 2 line on the south, and then I go along the cornfield and then head it back that way. It sucks again. And I'm checking the bottom line, and I look over and I'm like, wait a minute. I have this bottom line connected to the bottom line back here, the bottom of the 4 line that's not supposed to be live. Well, that doesn't work, idiot. Had Bethany run out and disconnect the fence for me, and hopefully I fixed that. And now we'll kind of just do a little bit of ride around. I got to close 1 gate over by the yellow water anyways, and then we'll head back and we'll see what we got. Well, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna come down to where we let them across, and I'm gonna test the wire right there. Yeah, see, that's weird. We only have like 2,000 over here, and I closed that off, and I've got like over by the corn crib, I've got like 5,000, which is what I expected. So we'll just have to keep an eye on those guys. I'm not really too worried about them getting out. I do have like 3,000 on the line now. They got really, really good grass out there. It's, I don't know, it's 10 times better than where they came from. So they should be all right. They're only gonna spend a couple days, and I'll check the fence again tomorrow. If it's still super low, maybe I'll look at doing some trimming. I do have practice after work tomorrow, so I leave work a little before 3, practice at like 3:30, and that is my life for the next 2 months, 2.5 months, right? Middle of August, yeah, about 2.5 months, give or take. Less game travel though. Got a doozy. Starting out, got a doozy. Like, I'm not gonna be home until next Thursday night. I will be in Hudson, and I don't think I'm gonna get home till 1 or 2 in the morning on Friday morning. So I'm gonna look to, I gotta plan out my vacation, because I think I gotta take a day of vacation that day, or a lot of Monster. It is Sunday. It is my birthday, and Bethany's making me Alfredo, chicken Alfredo. I requested it. We had Mexican last night. That was a last minute call, and it was awesome. So that was a good call because I had leftovers with my eggs for breakfast this morning. It was amazing. But yeah, she's making me Alfredo, and yeah, and we're just gonna chill out. We don't have to go anywhere tonight. Did all of our run around last night, but yeah, and then I go back to work tomorrow, and then practice, and then farm stuff when I get home. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It is the end of the day. It is the end of the weekend. I hope you guys liked the video. Please hit that thumbs up button. Help support the channel. And of course, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Follow along for more. Help us get to our goal of 2,000 subs. Sooner than later, we're getting there. A little at a time, we're getting there. And as always, thanks for coming along.